Okay, so we just took off, and all of a sudden, we're accelerating, not even quickly, and this pops up, and the truck starts hesitating and jerking. And yeah, I may have to turn around real quick and get a different vehicle. Don't know what's going on. As you can see, 31,903 miles on this 2023 truck. But we're gonna have to see what the heck is happening to cause it to do that, because it is jerking real bad whenever we try to accelerate. Yeah, it's not letting us shift up right now. I'll at least get it back to the house so I can experiment with it there. Okay, so we are returning back. This is crazy. This is the first mechanical issue we have ever had with this truck. Again, 2023 GMC Sierra Denali 1500 with the 3-liter diesel. It doesn't feel like an engine problem. It feels more like a transmission related issue. I'm gonna pull it off the driveway in case it doesn't move on me again when we start it. A little side path there. Yeah, we get up to about 8 miles an hour and all of a sudden it starts jerking really bad. All right, put the truck in park. I'm gonna shut it off real quick. Open the door, close it, start the truck back up. See if we get any weird check engine lights or anything. Okay, so we actually do have a check engine light on. It's just way down here in the bottom corner of the screen. Definitely don't know what's going on though. I might run a scanner on it in a little bit to see what's going on. But we're just about to go pick up our daughter, so we can't do that at the moment. But yeah, you try to accelerate. It's definitely in a limp mode now, because if you get over 8 miles an hour, it starts to make a lot of jerking. So we're gonna go ahead and park it. We're gonna switch vehicles. Very interesting. Okay, so this is kind of a sad moment. We have the F450, which I'm gonna back up to the disabled 2023 Sierra 1500 Denali pickup truck with the 3-liter diesel engine, and start unloading everything from the bed, because we have roadside assistance coming to pick that truck up to take it to the dealership so it can be worked on and repaired, hopefully. All right, so that truck is still under bumper-to-bumper warranty. We don't have over 36,000 miles. We actually have 31,200 or 31,800 or something on there. Not an insane amount, but we don't have enough miles on there that fortunately we were able to catch this problem while it's still covered under factory warranty. So I'm gonna back this truck up to that truck, and we're gonna move stuff over to this truck from that truck. Okay, so what I know about the problem, and this is due to the app telling me, the My GMC app, is that it appears to be related to the high pressure fuel system. That could be a really bad thing. Now, the truck was able to drive normally under 8 miles per hour, but the minute we started approaching 8 miles an hour, the truck really was shaking bad, and it was jerking, and it was shuddering, and it just wasn't doing anything good. Again, check engine light was on, and we had the reduced power mode on the display in the dash. When we drove away from the property, I wasn't accelerating fast. I was doing a normal, dad acceleration, if that makes sense. I wasn't trying to go super fast. I was just accelerating normally. Then again, right at around 8 miles per hour, everything just started going crazy. The truck was really, really jerking bad, and we got that message on the dash. So again, I looked at the app, and the app said that it's related to the fuel system. I researched it even deeper, and I realized that it's related to the high pressure fuel system, which that is never a good thing. The high pressure fuel system on these modern diesels is typically part of a common rail fuel system, and you have tons of pressure in there, like 36,000 PSI. It's a crazy amount of high pressure that goes through, and if something inside of that system fails, or if there's something wrong with it, it could lead to a major, major, major issue with your engine. And that's not just on GMC. The same thing can happen on Ford. If you ever hear of the conversation around like the CP4 fuel pump that Ford uses, it could lead to a similar scenario if it starts failing on you as what we're experiencing here. Now, I don't know specifically what's wrong with this truck, so everything I'm telling you is just based off of what I've read, based off some of the information I have, and based off of what I've researched. But what I can tell you though is it's really, really sad that we're having this problem, because This platform, this LZO 3-liter diesel engine, is supposed to be an insanely reliable platform. And up until this point, we've had 0 issues with this. So 31,000 plus miles, we've had absolutely not one issue with this truck at all in any way. It has been a really, really reliable platform. And I was actually telling my daughter this morning when we were taking this truck to school that it has been a really, really great truck, because she actually prefers the interior of the Subaru, believe it or not, over this truck. And that's only a preference she has because it's a little smaller. And I was like, well, why don't you like the interior? And we were talking about it. And I said, you know what I really like about this truck is that it's reliable and I can trust it and it can probably take me anywhere. But we have a problem with it, and hopefully it'll get fixed. Now, am I bitter against GMC? No, not at all. The fact is, we paid full price for this truck. $74,000 is, I think, what we ended up paying. Maybe even a little bit more than that. We did not get any type of promo. GMC didn't sponsor anything. I have no affiliation with General Motors at all, other than the fact that I review some of their vehicles. But I can tell you that I have nothing against this product, even though it's having that problem. It's super unfortunate. It is frustrating, especially if this were my only vehicle or our only vehicle, but thankfully we have other vehicles, and that's probably what makes this a lot more bearable. But if it were only, let's say, these 2 vehicles and we didn't have my wife's car plus the Subaru, then yeah, this would be a major headache and a major setback, and I would probably demand like a loaner vehicle or a rental vehicle from GMC to help cover. But we do have other vehicles, so I'm not in the same position as some people might be if you only have one vehicle and that one vehicle is breaking down, or you have 2, but one of the primary vehicles is not working right. I'm really, really interested in the details on what happened here, though. So besides it being broken and wanting it to get fixed, I really want to know the facts behind why it broke so I can share it with you all, and you all know exactly what's going on. I think I have been more than fair, clear, and honest about any problems we've ever had with anything we've owned. From the mini excavator over there, to the Brookstone, to the Surveyor, to my F450. This one we haven't really had any problems with because it's pretty much brand new. And even my red F450 before this had 2 seized up calipers up front. The sunroof tracks ended up giving me problems. I think we had an issue with the computer in it at one point, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but we've had different issues with different vehicles, and I always share them. So I'm never going to disguise or hide if there's a problem, just like this, right? There's no way that I would ever not share that we're now having a problem with this truck. And again, it's under warranty, thankfully. We didn't get an extended warranty on this truck. So on this one, I have an insane extended warranty. It's like a 9-year, 100,000 plus mile extended warranty on this truck. This truck, we did not get it because we weren't actually planning on keeping it for very long. The whole goal, if you all recall, was that we would do a 1-year review of this vehicle. And the reason why we kept it now beyond that, 2 years beyond that, is because it has been a really, really good truck, and the fuel economy has been absolutely incredible. The fact is, I did not know a truck I could replace this truck with that would have the fuel economy and the capability of this truck. And that's the reason why we kept it, is because when you get 26 to 30 miles per gallon in a half-ton truck that's 4-wheel drive, loaded the way this one's loaded, it's like you want to hold on to it because it's a rare find. And of course, you can go out and buy a brand new one, but this truck is still very current. It's the newest interior, it's the newest exterior, it's got every feature we want on a half-ton truck and then some, because this is actually a couple packages above what we were initially looking for. That said, clearly there's a problem though, and we have to get to the bottom of it. So we're gonna move everything from this truck over to that truck, just because I don't want to keep everything in here while we have this thing in service, because it could be there for some time. Now we're going to look under the hood real quick and see if there's anything crazy going on under here. I don't see anything, except it's like a little bit of a wet mark right there. Not sure exactly what that's from. Trying to see if there's anything peculiar looking under here. Trying to look for anything that could have built up, maybe a rat's nest or something, anything that's been eaten into. I don't see anything going on in here that would be like a clear indication of what's wrong. That down there, if you see that, that's a little piece of broken off Irish Spring soap, just to make sure we don't get any rodents in here, or at least to help keep them out. But yeah, nothing here is standing out. Maybe somebody who knows what's going on may know what this is from. I'm assuming it's probably just some liquid or water or something that's gotten on there. Again, this engine has been an absolute rock star. This entire truck has. And it's really unfortunate that we're having a problem with it now. But it happens. And I'm pretty sure they'll take care of it. Again, under full warranty, so I'm not expecting any hookups or anything on it. I'm just looking for them to follow through with the manufacturer's warranty and see what type of experience we have. But yeah, 31,000 and change miles on it. And you know, while I'm sliding stuff from one truck to the other, I want to show you something. So, back of the F450, bouncing up and down. See if you can see this. Looking to see if you can see the movement of the tailgate. All right, check this out. When you think of the difference in terms of the rear suspension of a half-ton truck versus a heavy-duty truck, and even though this is a 450, it's got the same rear leaf springs as a 350 dually. This is really where things start to get kind of crazy whenever you're towing, and I think it's worth talking about this because a lot of people don't realize the difference in shock and the difference in shock absorption and the amount of travel, especially when you're going over bumps between these two trucks. So I got one leg on the 450, which is, it feels like I'm on like a concrete pad. And then I got one leg on the back of the GMC. And it's almost like a trampoline. I mean, it is a significantly different suspension setup, which lends itself to the topic I made of that video a while back. You know, if you're hauling a travel trailer like that with something like this, you are going to have an entirely different amount of shock that transfers from the back of this truck because of the suspension to the front A-frame section of that trailer. Whereas with something like this, it's very cushy. I mean, it's very, very soft. And I don't weigh 600 plus pounds. So you can imagine something that weighs roughly 3 times my amount pressing down on this is going to make it bounce even more. Whereas on my 450, it's going to have little to no impact. Or it's going to have a lot of impact because of the stiffer suspension. But this is just one of those things that just is easy to understand when you stop and think about it for about 5 minutes. When you really think about the difference between suspension on vehicles and if it makes sense to have something additionally to help support the shock absorption on a truck like this, where you may not need it on a truck like that, or even a 3/4 ton truck that has a relatively low suspension that's designed more for smoothness and comfort. So just keep that in mind. You know, this is something that's always worth understanding. Anyways, we've moved everything over to the back, and this is crazy. It's weird because, like I said, you step from one truck, it doesn't move at all. Then you step to the next truck and it bounces quite a bit. But yeah, we've moved everything over here. So this truck's going to be picked up and taken to GMC, so hopefully they can fix the problems. And there's a tow truck. Anyways, guys, we're going to get this thing loaded up so he can haul it off to the GMC dealership. And I'll update you with whatever we find out. Guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up. We'll talk to you again very soon.